This is Allison Brubacher, and this is my trauma-informed video assignment. We're going to go ahead and start in any desired seated position. Let's go ahead and grab a blanket and put it underneath our hips. We're going to close our eyes. Have a soft gaze. Let's put our dominant hand on our heart and our other hand on our belly. And we're going to take some deep breaths here. Just some resetting. And forgetting all the things that we had to do before we got on our mat. And not worrying about all the things we have to do when we're done. And just becoming aware of ourselves on our mat in this safe space. I invite you to take your tongue from the roof of your mouth and slightly part your lips if that feels right for you. Inhaling and exhaling. Just focusing on your breath. And nothing else. If a thought or a feeling comes in, acknowledge it, and then let it pass. Breath filling your body and then releasing everything. Letting go any place that you're holding on to. Letting the mat catch you. And next inhale, let's go ahead and put our palms on our knees. Let's go ahead and take some hip circles towards the right. Keeping those eyes closed or soft gaze. And let those circles be as big or small as they need to be. At the top of that next circle, let's go ahead and pause. Take a moment. Still grounding, connecting with your mat and the earth. this time on our exhale, let's go ahead and take a slight twist over to our right. Inhale back through to center. And exhale, slight twist to the other side. Brings us back through center. One more time, take that twist over towards the right. Option to take your gaze over your shoulder. Inhale brings us back to center. And exhale, over towards that left. Center. And then on our exhale, let's take a forward fold here. Tuck our chin if that feels right. Full breaths here. Letting that breath guide us. And release. On our next inhale, let's go ahead and walk ourselves back up. Bring those palms behind us. Tuck our chin. Bring that chin back to neutral. And then if it's right for you, we can bring our chin towards the ceiling. If we brace our chin, let's go ahead and bring it back to neutral. And then one more time, tuck our chin towards our chest. I'm going to walk those hands back in. We're going to roll over our knees, make our way to tabletop. When we have that blanket, we'll go ahead and move that to the side. We're going to plant those palms into the mat, making sure we stack those shoulders over our wrists, hips over our knees. Let's go ahead and really ground here. Press those thumbs into our mat, and then release. Our index fingers both into that mat as strongly as we can, and release. Middle fingers into our mat, and then release. Press both of those ring fingers in, and release. And then those pinky fingers. Press them in, and then release. Now let's press all 10 fingers firmly into that mat, and release them. Make this a little bit more natural. We're going to go ahead and do some cat-cow on our breath. So we're going to go ahead and pull through, chin up into our cow. And then tuck that chin around our back on our exhale. Again, inhale, pull through. And an exhale, rounding and releasing. Couple more rounds of this at our own breath. Inhaling fully into cow. And exhaling all that breath out in our cow. And then we'll meet into a neutral tabletop. Press those fingers in like we did before, all 10 fingers. We're going to tuck our toes. Press that mat away. Raise up our hips. Downward facing dog. Adjusting here. Pedaling our feet. Maybe shaking our hips. Shaking our head yes. Shaking our head no. Dropping that head. And then we'll find a still downward facing dog for 5 breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to go ahead and walk our hands to our feet at the back of our mat. And forward fold here. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Pausing here. We're going to go ahead and bend our knees. We're going to rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's release those palms. We're going to ground with our feet. Really pressing into the mat. Again, we can close our eyes or have a soft gaze here as we just feel the power of this pose. Chin is parallel to the mat. Breath is smooth. Grounding in with our feet, connecting with that earth. Whenever we're ready, we can take our gaze back. We're going to go ahead and shift our weight towards our left foot. We're going to take that right foot, right knee up, and then we're going to get into our tree. So we can either use a kickstand here, bring that foot to our calf, or bring it up towards our thigh. Still grounding in. Being aware of this pose and how a tree would be. Rooting into the ground, connecting, strong and firm. It's okay to wobble. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and release down, adjust, breath here. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and shift our weight towards our right. Balance here. And then we'll bring that knee forward. And then place that leg wherever it's right on this side. Gaze is slightly in front of you. Rooting in. Connecting to the earth. Connecting with our breath. Whenever we're ready, we'll go ahead and release that foot. Again, connecting with our feet, using them to ground and support us. We're going to go ahead and take those palms behind us, clasp our hands together, pull those thumbs more towards the mat, and if it's right, raise your chin. Rolling those shoulders back. On our next exhale, we're going to go ahead and forward fold, keeping those hands behind us. They can rest on our back, or we can bring them forward towards the ceiling. Crown of the head towards the mat. We're reaching and grounding at the same time. Let's go ahead and release those palms. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. Again, adjust here wherever we need to. Letting that head hang. And then let's be still in our downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg in between our thumbs, our right foot in between our thumbs. Place it there. We're going to take our back foot and kind of angle it at a 45-degree angle and rise into our warrior one. So using our feet to ground, letting the mat catch us. Let's bring those palms behind us like we just did. Reach those shoulders behind us. We're going to go ahead and bend at our hip and make our way to humble warrior. Arms clasped can be behind our back or raised towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Let's go ahead and release those palms, bring them down to our mat. We're going to bring that front leg back into plank. Pause here for a moment. And then chaturanga, either knees up or knees down. We'll make our way to upward facing dog or low cobra. And then back to downward facing dog. Adjusting where we need to. And then 5 breaths in our still downward facing dog. We're going to look up at our thumbs. This time we're going to bring our left foot in between our thumbs. We're going to pivot that right foot at about a 45-degree angle and then rise into our warrior one. Still pressing into that mat. Let's bring those palms behind us, clasp those hands, draw those shoulders down, and then we're going to bend at our hips and make our way to humble warrior. Arms at our back or up towards the ceiling. Let's go ahead and release those palms, plant them down on our mat. Take that front leg back into plank. Pausing, pushing that mat away, using those 10 fingers. Chaturanga any way we want. Knees up or knees down. Upward facing dog or low cobra. Back to downward facing dog. 5 big breaths here. Then let's go ahead and make our way to our knees and take a child's pose here. Breath is still smooth. With every exhale, we release what we are holding on to in our body. For our next inhale, let's go ahead and walk our hands over towards the left. And take a lateral bend here. After a breath or two, if it's right for you, you want a little bit more, you can go ahead and place that right palm on top of your left. And feel a little bit more stretch in that right side body. On our next inhale, let's go ahead and walk our hands through the center. Pause. And then let's take it over towards the right. Breaths here. And then if it's right for you, you can take that left palm and place it on top of the right. Inhale brings us back to the center with a pause here. Breathing fully. Every breath is mindful and with purpose. Let's go ahead and walk our hands up. We're going to go ahead and kick our legs out in front of us. We're going to have a caterpillar pose. So we have a couple of options here. We're going to be here for a while. We can take our blanket and roll it up and bring it under our knees. We can keep our legs at whatever width is comfortable for us. Feet can be splayed inward or outward. We're just going to take a fold here. So we can do this if this is right for us. If that bothers our neck or head, we can take our bolster and we can bring it and use it for some support here. And then lastly, if we need a little bit more, we can always take our block and use our block to support ourselves as we fold here. So normally we would be here for about 3 minutes or so before we switch. So then whatever props we have, we're going to go ahead and move them to the side. We're going to bring our palms behind us, plant those soles of our feet on our mat. Go ahead and do some windshield wiping back and forth. And then let's take those palms behind our knees, and we're going to slowly make our way to our mat. Let's bring our feet just slightly wider, then hip width. Let those knees buckle inward. We can keep our hands out in the T, or I invite you to put your palms on your rib cage, and then feel your breath, close your eyes, and I will call you back in a moment.